Hello, 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 and welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Lavella, and we are going to start a Let's Play in Dinkum. They have, I currently have, I think it's 1,130 hours in this game. And so, yeah, I started it a few years ago when it first came out and play it. I go into different phases of playing it pretty hard and heavy, and then I kind of go play stuff, other things, and then I come back and, back and forth. But they are constantly updating it. It's always uh, on a regular basis. There's new material or just little tweaks here and there that just make it so nice. So anyway, we are going to start a let's play, and let's just randomize her and see what we get. Okay, she's a little. Mm, yeah. Okay. Hair. Let's do some red hair. Let's do green eyes. I don't have red hair. I have brown hair. My son has beautiful red hair. When he was little, it was pretty much on the orange side, but as he got older, it darkened and became more auburn. And I basically spent many, many years trying to match the color of his hair to no avail. Okay, she's cute. Alright. T-shirt color, I really don't care. Okay. What is my name? My name is Lavilla. The island's name. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, there's no mangoes in the game, but I love mangoes. We're going to call it Mango Island. A long time ago, everything went south. Almost everybody was forced to move to South City. The people of South City live cold and miserable lives. You were born here. Dun, dun, dun. Most people have no desire to leave, but you do, more than anything. Gee, I wonder why. And you might have found a way out. Help wanted. Looking for a young go-getter to accompany me to my old home, Mango. Voyage and accommodation will be your initial compensation. Anyone interested, please meet me, and I didn't read fast enough. You leave for Mango today. And off we go in our airship. We're escaping the cold and the blah and the miserable and gray. We are now flying over Mango, and we'll be landing shortly. All passengers, please prepare to leave the airship. Looks like we've landed. I'll tell you what, I'm so glad you've decided to accompany me on this adventure, Lavella. I was starting to think no one in South City was brave enough to join me. That's Fletch, by the way. And if you notice these little hearts up here that are grayed out right now, as we develop a relationship with her, we'll start having those fill in. When you were the first and only person to respond to my ad, I knew you were the right person for the job. I have turned off. Okay, okay. It wasn't that funny. Wasn't that funny, Fletch? I have another, like a single player. Well, these are both single player, but I have another game already where I've done my settings, and I turned off the thing where the NPCs actually have a little voice. so that I only get the typing sound. But when they say something they think is funny, oh my gosh, they just yeah, they really chuckle it up. Oh dear, look at old Fletch waffle on. Let's get cracking, Lavella. I'll see you outside, okay? Okay. It's not a whole lot of room for passengers in this airship. Talk to Fletch. Wow, smell that fresh air. Tell you what, it feels good to finally be back on Mango. Now, Lavella, I'm going to need your help getting sorted, okay? Or settled, okay? I'll give you this base tent. Take your time, find a good place for it. It'll be like our town hub. Take this map as well. If you have any questions, please just ask me. I haven't been back to Mango for a very long time, but I think I can still be helpful. Yeah, 'cause she's bossy. I'll be waiting by this dock until you set up the base tent. So if you get lost, just check your map to find the dock again. Good luck, Lavella. We received a base tent, which is base of operations, and we've received an island map. Pins can be placed on it to mark points of interest. Okay. Let's see what we want to do. Um, hmm. We could just make this a little beach town. Let's, uh, let's start with this. Is this a good place for the base tent? Yes. Yes, it is. So, this is where you decided to build, huh? It's absolutely perfect. Our new home here on Mango. Thank you so much for setting up the base tent. Oh, and guess what? I actually have a tent for you, too. I know it's not much, but it will be a place you can call home. Now, there is plenty of room to spread out here on Mango, so please take your time to place your tent. You'll probably be visiting the base tent a fair bit. So keep that in mind while you are looking for a spot to claim as your own. I'll be inside the base tent getting things ready. Come and speak to me once you've placed your tent. You've received a tent, a place to live when you don't have a house yet. Okay. We're going to go ahead and grab these. Now, we're not going to live on the beach. We do want to live relatively close. But, oh my goodness, pick that up. Okay. If you've ever played Minecraft, in Minecraft, you have to, you basically just have to walk over something, and it goes into your pockets. Not so much here. You have to right-click. Now, there are some things where you can just hold down the right-click, and you can automatically pick it up. But, oh, thank you. I'll take that. Oh, he ate one of them before I could get over here. Let's do this. That works. Is this a good place for the tent? Yes, yes it is. Okay. Tab to open our pockets. Shift click, we can get everything off of our hotbar. And I keep trying to push E for Minecraft inventory. As you can see, the animals in this game interact with each other. The dogs chase birds. They hunt the jackaroos. Um, they hunt the turkeys. There's crocodiles, which they call crocos, and these are actually called dingoes. You can tame them, and when you go into the deep mine, if you loot a collar, you can tame them to be a pet. I'm already out gathering. I need to go talk to Fletch. I was wanting to watch the dogs because in case they killed something else, like it's more meat. Okay, and one thing you can do, M for map. You can scroll in and out. Okay, and so Uh, we're going to highlight the base tent so that we can always find our way there. And eventually our tent will show up on the map and we'll be able to highlight it as well. I don't think the game has figured out yet that it's here. And if you're new to the game and you're in a panic because you're like, oh, I don't know where I want to build my entire city, it doesn't matter. Eventually, money will be so easy you don't even you don't even think twice about it. And in the very beginning, it's a little bit of a challenge, but not a whole lot. It's not that hard to make money in this game. And as you get money later, you can just tell Fletch you want to move a building, and you pay 25,000 dinks, which is their currency, and she'll have it moved. So it sounds like a lot, and for right now, it is a lot. But later, it's really not that hard to be a millionaire in this game. You found a good place for your tent? I know it's not much, but I hope you like your new home. I'll tell you what, you've got the spark, Lavella. You see, most people back in South City are scared of leaving. There's something about that place that pulls the spark out of people. But I'll tell you what, we certainly aren't the first to leave. Have you ever heard of the traveling trader John? I have, but we're going to say no just for the sake of the storyline. No, I haven't. I'll tell you what, he's a bloomin' legend. Rumor is he traded a paperclip for a steamboat once. Trading is in his very blood. John got in contact with me before we left South City. He's interested in visiting with his shop here. I'll tell you what, we can't miss an opportunity like this. I reckon we get this visiting site deed ready for him. That way we'll have a place ready for any visitors who come to Mango. I'll let you decide where the best place for this visiting site deed is. Just be sure it's close by. We want visitors to feel like part of the Mango community while they are here. Who knows, maybe we can convince him to set up a permanent shop here. Be sure to talk to me once you've placed the visiting site deed. You received visiting site deed, a place for visitors to easily set up camp. Okay. Now, we're going to put him, let's see, she's facing the water this way. We'll put the visitor this way. Is this a good place for the visiting site deed? Yes, yes it is. Okay, so, if you notice, top left corner, it says 10 a.m. It's said 10 a.m. ever since we landed. Clock hasn't moved. I have placed the base tent, I've placed my tent, and I've placed the visitor site deed. So, if I wanted to, I could just run around and gather the different fruit and scoop stuff up off the bottom of the ocean and gather seashells and logs and plants and blah blah blah, and time would stand still. If I wasn't doing that, time would be moving, and at midnight, that's considered the end of the day. You can still do things after midnight, but you have like no stamina. But you can stand there and cook, you can smelt ore, you can do all kinds of stuff when it's considered late, and there's no penalty. Anyway, because this is for a series and not just my own personal relax time, we're not going to use the frozen clock thing. We're going to go ahead and talk to her and progress the story. So, we're all set for visitors, huh? Well done, Lavella. You've only been here for a little while, but you've achieved so much already. You remind me of my father. He was born right here on Mango, you know? He was a true blue adventurer through and through. He loved doing new things and keeping track of all his milestones in his adventures journal. I wanted to come here and try and meet those milestones myself, but I'm getting a bit long in the tooth, Lavella. Please, I want you to take his adventures journal. Please keep good care of it. This is your adventure now. You received adventures journal. Fletch's father's journal. It's filled with his past milestones. That journal means a lot to me, but I think my dad would be glad someone like you is looking after it. But I have a challenge for you, Lavella. I want you to try and beat my father's milestones. Some of these milestones are going to take a long time to complete, but there is no hurry. I'm also going to add daily tasks to the journal. These will be smaller milestones that should be easy to complete in just one day. Now for the good part. For every milestone you surpass, you'll be rewarded with permit points. I'll tell you what, you're going to want a lot of permit points eventually. But we can talk more about that tomorrow. For now, check out the journal. I think you'll find that you've actually completed some of the milestones inside. So be sure to claim them. Now, are you hungry? I am. I think it's just about lunchtime. I've seen fruit growing around this island, and that sounds tasty. You go and find us some fruit. And when you get back, I will show you how to craft a campfire. Okay. Open journal is escape. We got explorer. We got camper. And we got seashells. Okay. Harvest 3 bush lime, catch 2 bugs, craft an item. Okay. Find something to eat. Did we already have something to eat? Oh, it's not cooked. Let's go get some bush limes. They're right here. Oh, you found something to eat. Eating food will help keep your energy up. Here's a recipe for a campfire. I found these stones earlier, so you can use these to craft a campfire. You'll have to find some wood yourself, though. Feel free to use the crafting table in the base tent to craft a campfire. Take your time, Lavella. When you are done, come and have a chat with me. I have a gift for you. Receive stones, some rock. Cool. A campfire, a fire you can use while camping. Imagine that. Okay, campfire, craft. Very impressed with the work you've done here today, Lavella. I think there's a great future for us all here at Mango. Here's a gift for helping me out so much. It's a bug net. I think you should take the rest of the day off. Maybe you could go catch some of the bugs around here. Or maybe you could cook some of that fruit you found. I'll figure out something to do. I'm sure you will. Oh, and before I forget, take the sleeping bag, too. When you get tired, pop that on the ground and have a lay down. I'll tell you what, a good night's rest will do us both good. Thanks for your help today, Lavella. I can't believe we're on Mango. I couldn't have done any of this without you. Got a bug net. Catch those creepy crawlies. All right. Got a sleeping bag. A bed on the go. Okay. Now, our tent is this way. No, this way. And I turned around. Okay. Well, there's some bugs right here. Wow, that seems loud to me. I don't know if it is. Okay, let's... Well, I have it turned down quite a bit. See, NPC voice on by default, that's usually checked, but I've turned that down. Okay. Alright. So you can tell by looking in the bottom left corner, all three of those icons are completely yellow or golden or whatever. That means they've been completed. Alright, let's put our campfire over here, out of the way. And let's go ahead and cook this meat that we have. And let's do some organizing while we're at it. Put that there. Okay. phone takes a minute to fry all this up. You sitting there, are you eyeballing my food? It's like real life. You can eat the fruit without cooking it, but it's better for you if it is cooked. Better for you, as in the properties are a little better. Oh, sorry. I hope you don't hear that. I was sneaking a drink of my root beer real quick. I got some ice. Now, some games, I was gonna say video games, like I have to specify that anymore. Anyway, some games, the food you eat, like say we eat the cooked drumstick, and maybe the next time we eat it wants us to eat fruit, or the next time we eat it wants us to eat a salad or whatever. That's not how it works in this game. You can eat if I had 500 bush limes, it would let me eat those constantly without anything else. But different foods have different properties, as you can see. So there's different buffs. Yeah, delicious if you cook it, not so much if you don't. I don't think I've ever tried to eat raw meat. See, this gives us a little bit more stamina than the other meat, but okay. And keep getting turned around. Where is the base over here? Okay, we are going to put these down because our pockets are going to get full really quick. There we go. Okay, so daily milestones. Uh, I'm watching a streamer, YouTuber, and I really enjoy his content. And he's just started playing Dinkum for the first time, and I'm having a ball watching him. But he keeps getting confused because he's calling this daily tasks instead of daily milestones. That may not seem like a big deal, but because he's still new to the game, he keeps going in here where it says tasks, and he's trying to find his daily tasks. But they're not daily tasks, they're daily milestones. So, not a huge deal, but he keeps getting a little bit frustrated because he can't find them. Well, he can't find them because he's calling them the wrong thing. Again, not a huge deal, but he's just frustrating himself. And the reason I was able to make that campfire is because I had already picked up some wood. Otherwise, we would have had to go out and get wood. There's the crocos. They will bite your toesies off. Um, Eventually, we'll get animal trapping, and we'll be able to aggro them. Well, they're auto aggro. You don't have to. You just have to get in range. But you have to get their health down to a certain amount to use the first level traps. And we will put them in a trap, and then we will drop them off at the animal collection center that we craft. And there, we got it. And uh, the animals that you turn in like that, they go to an animal research center where supposedly they feel no pain, they're well cared for, blah blah blah, and then they're released back into the wilds apparently. Anyway, you get your traps back in the mail the next day, and you get money. So, and I hear all the time people are like, "Oh, this is the best way to make money early game. This is the best way to make money early game, and this is the best way." Let me tell you, I don't know what your definition of early game is, but as soon as you start making traps and trapping crocos and sending them in, yeah, money's pretty easy. You get, I want to say, is it 9,000? Somewhere in the ballpark of 9K per croco that you turn in. We got another ding for the seashells. And by the way, once you click on this to get rid of it, all you gotta do is hit escape again and it takes you back to this page. Somebody else keeps having to switch tabs to come back because they haven't figured that out yet. But like I said, they're brand new, so it's a learning process. I have over 1,000 hours in this game. If I don't know how to do stuff like that, then there's a problem. Okay, that is a pearl. Gonna dive and harvest. These little gems are worth 5,000. Thanks. When we sell it. Pearl picker. Now, these little things that we're getting for these milestones, you see them up here in the top right corner. When we get to the point in the storyline where Fletch is like, okay, well, we can talk about permit points now. You spend those points to get permits for different things, like being able to go mining or chopping trees or fishing or, using a shovel to dig dirt. There's all kinds of stuff, and we got another milestone. Picking fruit and logs. Oh, yeah. Okay. Now, every time we pick up a log off the ground or harvest these yellow wattle flowers, these little bushes you keep seeing me pick at, every time we do stuff like that, it adds to our foraging skill or XP or whatever you want to call it. And it just makes us level faster, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And I got sidetracked. Okay. And by the way, I have a YouTube channel, and it's just called Lavella. And I am going to reorganize it because it's been the only channel I've had, and I've had it for years. And I think I'm going to pull everything off of it that is not Minecraft. And this will be my sim slash variety channel. And then that one will just be Minecraft. I'm not making videos because I'm trying to get rich, but if I happen to make some money in the process, it's not going to hurt my feelings either. Although, as I have said in my series, in my Minecraft series that I'm recording, that's not why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because it's fun for me. It's like mentally therapeutic for me. It just makes me feel better. I don't know why. Talking to people, sharing my game, enjoying myself. It's just, I don't know. It's good mental health for me. So, and my thing is, I'm not going to ask people for likes or subscriptions or whatever. If they do, that's great. If they don't, I'm good with that too. My thing is, if one person, and I am serious when I say just one, if just one person somewhere in the world enjoys my content and gets some kind of a positive impact from it, whether it's just a smile, whether it's just a short-term distraction from other things that are not as enjoyable, as long as they get just something positive out of it and they've enjoyed it at some level, I just shrugged my shoulders like you could see me. That's really all I. That's really all that matters. I really. I'm not trying to become some kind of a multi-million sub channel and buy Lamborghinis and all that kind of stuff. It's just not me. I'm just playing because I like to play, and I'm recording because it's fun. Got another butterfly. Oh, and here's another thing. Under pedia, like bugs. See, we caught a fly, we caught a blue moon butterfly, we caught a scarlet Jezebel butterfly, we caught a funnel web spider. That's all so far. Later, when we get a museum, there'll be a little icon that'll show whether or not you've turned it into the museum. And since we don't have a museum, we haven't turned it in yet, so there's no icon. But if you click on this, it'll tell you we've only caught one so far. Their habitat is everywhere. Time found, they're not found at night, but they're found in the morning and at noon and in any season. See? So if you take a job from one of the NPCs, okay, we've got three of these, bushlands, noon, and evening. And they're in the summer and the spring. So that gives you information. So let's say we get to the point to where I ask Fletch, do you have anything you want me to do? Is there anything you need help with? And she says, I sure do. I would love for you to catch me a fly. And you can't remember where you caught a fly, you can look in your book. And if you've caught one before, that information will be there. If you've never caught one, then there's always Google. Or you can depend on them, the NPC. They'll say, oh, can you catch me a blah, blah, blah? They can usually be found in such and such area. And let me tell you something. I know it's RNG. I know it's luck. It's random. But Fletch really likes the fish from the billabongs. She frustrates me to no end with that mess. And a lot of times, if you, like when we get to the point where we're asking people if they need help with anything, a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times, if you have this stuff in your inventory, say we've been in game for a week and we have these things in our inventory and we go to Fletch and she goes, oh, I see you have a fly. I'd like to buy that fly. I'll give you X amount of dinkums for it, or dinks for it. And you're like, sure. So, yeah, it's a thing. And this is new. Before, hi Fletch. Before the NPCs, like, there's events on certain days and certain seasons, and like one's a fishing contest. Well, for the fishing contest, you'll see the NPCs walking around with fishing poles, and they actually go fishing to compete, and it's really cute. Well, now, and I don't know which update did it, but now, like you just saw with Fletch, she has a bug net as if she's going to go catch bugs. But she's not really. She's not really catching them. She's just pretending. Have we already, I think, no, there's stuff on these little blue blobbies in the water, those are jellyfish. If they get you, it will zap your stamina a little bit. They're not going to kill you. Unless you're too far from land and you're trying to swim and you're running low on stamina and then they zap your stamina, I guess you could drown. But as far as like, they're not going to poison you or And come over here. Need some more stuff. These are the mango trees. I don't want to use the word hate, but these are my least favorite to harvest because it makes the mango sticks, which is great, and you need those for your traps, and you need them for meat on the stick and torches, and there's a few things you need them for. But so many of them fall in the water, so it's easier. Just harvest a whole bunch of them, let it all go in the water, and then jump in, dive, and collect them all at once, because they're a real pain in the behind. Would like to see if we can find some bananas. Some bananas would be good. Ah, we'll take those. We will take those. I have a bad habit every time I start a world where I wait way too long. I'm like, okay, well, when I get my orchard set up, then I'll start planting the fruit trees. And um, and I'm just like, yeah, well, when I get this set up, well, I need to level this ground out first. Well, I need to do this first. Well, I need to do that first. Don't do that. Just get it done. Find a good spot. Start planting the fruit trees as you get a chance. That would be Arya, our German Shepherd. She's having a fit because the mailman had the audacity to walk up on our porch to put mail in our mailbox. She's quite loud, as you can probably tell. And her bark matches her body. She's quite large. I tell people she's the size of a small horse. Okay, let's, would like to find some more bananas. The tropical biome, you want to be careful because I don't know if you noticed those big birds that we walked past a while ago. Uh, they're to say they're docile would be an understatement. You literally, they will just stand there and let you stuff them in a trap. You know, they're just like, oh, cool, free ride. Where are we going? And so you don't have to worry about them. But they're the ones with the really bland feathers. You know, they're just kind of they blend in with the dirt and everything. However, there are some other large birds that have black feathers, and they're quite mean. So, you want to be careful. Alright, we're making our way back because we don't want to have a lot of swimming to do whenever we start running out of stamina. We're closer to the house than I thought we were. And when you chop your trees, clear your stumps, one thing it makes it easier to run when you're running away from a croc or whatever. And another thing is, I don't know this for a fact, but I believe that if you take the stump out, you have it starts the process, the timer for growing new trees. Because you can plant seeds, tree seeds, to make the trees come back faster. or you can let nature take its course and they will come back on their own. Either or. But I don't think it happens as fast if you leave the stumps. These yellow wattle flowers that I'm picking, at some point we will unlock a recipe and we'll be able to craft, I think it's called a billy can or something like that. Anyway, um, we'll be able to brew those. Oh, let's catch this firefly. We'll be able to brew those and make a potion out of them, and they are amazing for stamina. Okay, I'm thinking we've pretty much scavenged all we can really scavenge without any tools. So, let's go back and let's do some cooking. We're not picking those bananas though. We're going to plant those. We can't plant them today because we don't have a shovel and we don't have a permit to get one. Mm. This root beer is good. I'm trying not to get the ice. About a bazillion years ago, when I was married to my son's father, we hosted an exchange student from Brazil, and because we were one of the youngest married couples in host families, a lot of times, and we lived in the country, a lot of times the exchange students would all gather up at our place, and cause they could play loud music at our house, and they could run around outside, and we had cattle trough they could dunk each other in, and they could get muddy, and they could just be silly and have fun, and we're out in the country, who cares. Anyway, uh, one time when they were all there, and I was had a variety of sodas out for them, and they were like, "Ew, you have root beer?" I said, "Oh my God, I love root beer," and they're like, "Root beer is gross. How in the world can you think root beer is gross?" They said it tastes like toothpaste. God. And there was like three or four of them that said the same thing. Yeah, it does. It tastes like toothpaste. Yeah, that's gross. And I'm thinking, I really need to go to Brazil and just for the toothpaste. I don't think I've ever tasted toothpaste that tastes like root beer. But I love root beer. But it is insane how much sugar it takes to make root beer. I used to work for Long John Silver's long time ago. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it's basically like a fast food place except for fried fish. Anyway, uh, a few of our locations had, um, oh, I don't know if you'd call it a co-brand or whatever, but like it was a Long John Silver's that sold the fish and stuff, but it was also partnered with another restaurant, fast food place called A&W Root Beer. Well, at the time, I was called an area training uh, manager. Was it area training manager? Training something. Anyway, I was in charge of 9 stores. Plus, I was the hiring assistant manager at $1 million store, and I was on the road all the time. Anyway, one of the stores I had to go to, one of my stores was a co-brand. It was the Long John Silver's and the A&W root beer. And so they had to teach me how to make root beer. And they have those great big metal, um, I don't know, cans. They almost look like old-fashioned milk buckets. You know, the big, tall uh, milk. Um, I don't know what the proper term is. Anyway, uh, but they were tall and slim, and they held a lot. But anyway, he was putting the stuff in, and then he started pouring in the sugar, and they're like massive bags of sugar, and he'd pick one up and dump it in, then he'd pick up another one and dump it in, and pick up another one and dump it in, and pick up another one and dump it. And I was like, "Are you serious right now?" It's like, "Yeah," and I still have this many left to do. I was like, "Oh my God, no wonder." He said, "Yeah, root beer is like 80% sugar." I was like, "Oh my God." It was insane. And of course, I always knew, obviously, that root beer was very sweet and all that. But good Lord of mercy, to sit there and actually watch somebody pour that much sugar into a container to serve to other human beings for consumption, it was like, wow. Yeah. So I don't drink root beer a whole lot anymore, but I still get one once in a while because I like it. I like it a lot. Being a diabetic, it's not a good choice for me, but I'm pushing 60, so I'm more about the quality of life. I don't want to live to be 100 and be miserable the whole time, so I try to balance it. Okay, we didn't pick up any more meat. No. Okay, we are going to cook these as well. When you have so many of the same thing end up in a pile, it puts it in a little bag. So you just kind of pick up the whole bag at once. All right. So, all right. We have three more bags to put down. All right. We're going to go do that real quick. You want to get all your little tedious chores, tasks, whatever you want to call it. You want to get that done um, when it's late, after dark or whatever, if it doesn't take any stamina. Because during the day you have so much to do. You have um, you have tasks to do. You have resources to gather. There's just so much going on, and now there are times when it's daylight that I'll stand there and I'll cook meat or I'll smelt iron or whatever. But most of the time, I try to save that stuff for after dark, whenever it's already late, because those things don't cost stamina, and unless I have a time deadline on them, I try to save that kind of stuff primarily for after it's late, but not all the time, but most of the time I do. Okay, so for foraging, as you can see, we gathered all those shells, we gathered gum logs, we gathered the wattle flowers, the bush limes, the bananas, the cactus figs, and a pearl, and all of that gave us XP. So we're getting close to level 4 for foraging, which means wood chopping. That counts as foraging. So the more we get, the higher our level is going to be for that. Fishing, even though we don't have a fishing rod yet or a license for it, permit for it, because we dove under the water and harvested something in that category from the bottom of the ocean, it counted. So there are other things on the bottom, on the riverbeds or the bottom of the ocean, like the oyster with the pearl in it, or there's mussels, there's prawns, there's all kinds of stuff, and you don't catch it with a fishing rod. You dive in the water and you catch it with your hands. and that counts as fishing XP as well as using a fishing rod. Bug catching is pretty self-explanatory. We caught a lot of bugs today, and we're still not even close to level one. So obviously the foraging, but we foraged 56 gum logs. We foraged 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 bugs. So hunting, apparently we got credit for the stuff we picked up, even though we didn't kill it. But yeah, game saved. That works like Stardew Valley. Your game saves when you sleep. Okay, we are going to call it here because this has probably been a long episode because we did a lot in that day and we stayed up really late cooking and stuff. But anyway, I want to say thank you very much for taking the time to watch my video. I really do appreciate it. I really hope you enjoy this. Not just because I want the views or anything, but because this game is really fun. This game is so much fun. And to be honest, I'm going to play it with or without you. So if you enjoy it, great. That's awesome. We can enjoy it together. If you don't, there's 100,000 bazillion other things out there that you can watch and have fun with. So do that. Don't waste your time on something you're not having fun with when it comes to entertainment. Anyway, thank you again for sharing your time with me. I do appreciate it, and we'll see you later.